Good morning. My name is Kafila Savana Aldafa, and I'm going to present my final presentation, which called Weight Loss Supplement Marketing Method, Ethical Concern, and How It Influenced the Consumer Behavior in Indonesia. So, first and foremost, the final presentation is going to be divided into 5 sections. First is the introduction, which is going to discuss the background, problem identification, research question, research objectives, and then the scope and limitation. And then the second is continued with literature review, which discuss the important ideas and previous study relevant to this research, and conceptual framework, and hypothesis development. And then continued by research methodology, which is going to discuss the research design and the data collection itself. And then the data analysis is going to discuss the hypothesis analysis, validity test, reliability test, and lastly, this research will have a conclusion and recommendation for companies. Okay, so let's start from the background. Conventional beauty standards are formed in society through representation in social media, movies, television, or any other kind of media or entertainment. Ultimately, the general public will also want to have those kinds of bodies that are portrayed in this media. In Indonesia itself, it is estimated that 28.7% of the adult population have obesity. Many believe that weight loss supplements can help them reduce their weight to a more ideal body. Because of this phenomenon, the demand for weight loss supplements are rising and the sales have been going strong. Based on the research made by Compass in 2022, the revenue of weight loss supplements make millions and even billions revenue within 2 weeks period. However, the supplements that are sold often have underdosed ingredients, and the research that backs the supplements are mostly rat studies, which have one of the lowest pieces of evidence in the science evidence hierarchy. There are many fitness companies that sell weight loss products with unproven claims and use public figures or celebrities that previously have already have the conventional beauty standard bodies to promote their product. The research questions are, first, what is the marketing strategy used in weight loss products in order to penetrate their target consumers? And the second research question is, what are the marketing stimuli influencing the purchase intention of weight loss products? With two research objectives are as follows. And then the research scope are people that have consumed weight loss products in Indonesia. However, due to placebo effect, and there are many and numerous factors that contribute to weight loss, the participants' thoughts may be biased and subjective. Okay, so moving on to literature review. First is weight loss products. Weight loss products are supplements that consumers buy with the intention of losing their body weight. And then consumer behavior, which is human activity related to selecting, buying, using, and disposing of products, services, or ideas to satisfy personal needs and desires. And lastly is influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a new marketing approach that has flourished in recent years given the increase in influencer follower interaction on social networking sites, such as Instagram. However, the drawbacks of influencer marketing are the high cost and the ability to measure the effectiveness of marketing campaigns. In addition, influencer credibility can be questioned if too many brands are promoted by the same influencer. Moreover, it can be very costly if companies hire the wrong influencer or KOL, key opinion leader. Key opinion leader is an individual that is well known and able to create awareness and generate content. Therefore, choosing the right KOL is very critical to weight loss companies' marketing strategy. To properly hire a KOL, companies first need to have a list of KOL candidates that they will potentially hire. The candidates should be in the field of nutrition. KOL should be an expert and has sufficient experience in a particular field. One of the mistakes that commonly happen when hiring a KOL is companies often hire based solely on their social media followers. From the conceptual framework above, the hypotheses are as follows. The first hypothesis is health influencer brand ambassador positively influences consumer behavior. The second hypothesis is health influencer endorsement positively influences consumer behavior. The third hypothesis is product benefit positively influences consumer behavior. The fourth hypothesis is evidence positively influences consumer behavior. And the fifth and last hypothesis is marketing strategy of weight loss that mentioned previously above positively influences consumer behavior. For the methodology, the researcher starts from problem identification and then literature review, continued by research methodology, and then data collection, continued by data analysis, and lastly is conclusion and recommendation. The approach for this research is quantitative, and the method is online survey using questionnaire. The data are collected from 80 respondents in Indonesia who have consumed weight loss supplements at least once in their life. The analysis will be using Pearson's validity test and Cronbach's alpha reliability test. So, the survey has managed to gather of 80 respondents. As you can see, the gender are relatively equal, with the female respondents have little more than male respondents. And the age for the respondents are mostly 18 until 25 years old, with 61.2% of the respondents. For the first hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that brand ambassadors and celebrity endorsement plays a major role in determining their purchase decision. For the second hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that consumers prefer key opinion leaders that share the same value with certain products to be the brand ambassador. For the third hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that consumer pays attention to the benefits offered by weight loss supplements in ads and packaging. For the fourth hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that science-backed evidence and product review or third-party testimony has a huge role in determining consumers' purchase decision. For the fifth hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that if executed correctly, the combined marketing strategies can be very effective to attract consumers. From the validity test, all of the items are considered valid because the coefficient is greater than the R table 5% significance of 80 respondents. From the reliability test, it can be concluded that the questionnaire is reliable. It's because the alpha value is greater than 0.6. To conclude this research, most consumers firstly discover weight loss supplements from celebrity endorsement and social media discussion. Celebrity endorsement has been proven very effective. However, the kinds of KOLs should not be chosen carelessly, as consumers much prefer KOL that are suitable with the product branding. And then from the analysis, it can be concluded that health influencer brand ambassador, health influencer endorsement, product benefit, and evidence all positively influences the consumer behavior. Therefore, for the fifth hypothesis, marketing strategy of weight loss supplements positively influences the consumer behavior. There are several suggestions for weight loss companies. The first one is when weight loss companies sign public figure as their brand ambassador, their followers have more tendency to purchase the product because they trust, believe, and want to be similar or identified with a certain public figure. For example, Tokopedia is using BTS as their brand ambassador and it influenced the purchase decision of the consumer in a positive way. The second is companies should sign brand ambassadors that are already in the field of diet, nutrition, and fitness. The real-life example taken in this research is Deddy Corbuzier being the brand ambassador of Slim Tea. Deddy Corbuzier is chosen as their brand ambassador because of his personal branding in social media, in which he often posts about fitness and nutrition. The third one is fitness companies should become more transparent about their products, such as listing all the ingredients and the dosage clearly to avoid misunderstanding, and otherwise, the products can no longer be sold in the market and the companies will face lawsuits from BPOM. The fourth one is use social media discussion to increase brand awareness because it helps consumers that are looking up weight loss products on the internet to decide which product they are going to buy. Consumers will easily look at the result of the discussion on which products are the best to buy. This is proven by Slim Tea's strategy of using social media to share quality information about their products and nutrition in general. This will be perceived by the consumers as if the company is truly willing to assist the consumers in achieving their goal, thus increasing consumer trust on company. The fifth one is fitness companies also should not sacrifice quality and safety for price value. Nowadays, consumers are willing to spend more money on products that have more overall quality. So if weight loss products are genuinely effective, it will be potentially given a good review by many consumers. The last but not least is weight loss companies should make realistic and achievable claims on their product. In social media, there are many people that call out weight loss products or companies that the claims are not backed on scientific research, which can lead to be bad publication. So that is all from me today. Thank you for your attention. I am here really open for feedbacks and suggestions. Thank you very much.